Hi, loyal Zone 4 Legionnaires, Captain Ron Fortier here. And as my cohorts are doing, we're helping to promote our up-and-coming 300th episode. How to do that? Well, basically to tell you a little bit about each of us. I'm a professional comic writer and have been doing this for over 35 years and still going strong. And a large part of that really is lately due to Zone 4. I'm pretty much the senior member of the group. I'm all of 68 years old, but trust me, when you deal with comic books, you feel like a kid all your life. And my connection with Zone 4 basically happened through comic related, which I think, the other guys are going to, chime in as well. I got involved with comic related. Comic related eventually got me to attend one of the Champion City Comic Cons, where Chuck Moore was with Brant Fowler and John Wilson and Bill Gladman. And so I got to know the guys who were doing all kinds of podcasts. And one of the primary ones at that time was Zone 4. And I started listening to the show and enjoying it a great deal. Enough so that ultimately a couple of the guys were retiring from it. They'd done it for several years. And Brant, I think it was, who they'd had me on as a guest when Chuck and Kerry were still hosts, Kerry Kelly and Chuck Kennedy. And so they had me on as a guest to talk about my new career in pulp publishing, if you will, with Airship 27. And it was a really, really fun time for me. I really enjoyed doing it. So when one of them, I forget which one went first, retired, Brant put out the invitation, would I like to join Zone 4? It was flattering. It came out of left field. I'd never done anything like this before. And man, I just jumped in right off the deep end. It's been a blast ever since. I don't know the exact episode I started with Zone 4, but I know I've been on it for a couple of years now. And it's just been too much fun. Shortly after I joined, Gordon became our fourth, and we've been the revolving foursome for the last couple of years, and have done some wild and wacky stuff on this show. We got the skits going, and I think one of my fondest memories was the first ever Halloween skit we did, because John started doing all his mad scientist voices. Brant added all kinds of special effects, and we just ripped off that thing. We have a ball getting together, and every now and then we also get in, special guests who join us for the zaniness and the wackiness. Off the top of my head, I mean, we've had a lot of them. But anytime Frank Rayner joins us, it's hilarity to the max. The same thing with the G-Man, Bill Gladman. Two guests that I really, really enjoyed a great deal were Dan Sen and Dirk Manning. Again, comic pros who do some really great work. So it's fun to have a guest on the show. But believe me, left to ourselves, the four of us can just, take it away. And the show's been evolving. It's not hard for it to do that because so have comic books been evolving. I think in the last 2 years since I joined the cast, if you listen to the show regularly every week, we do a lot more talking about television and movies, only because that's what's happened with the comic world. It's evolved into multimedia. The conventions today are giant multimedia conventions, but Hollywood has finally caught up to comics. And Zone 4 reflects that. We do a lot more of it. And I hope that's what we continue to do in the future. As for, personally, what have I gotten out of being a member of Zone 4 and et cetera, et cetera? Look, the truth of the matter, collecting comics is fun. I love doing it. But you know what? It's a solitary thing. And if it wasn't for Zone 4 and my weekly get-together with Brant and John and Gordon, I wonder if I'd still be collecting comics today. There's a good possibility I might not be. These guys are amazing, and we come at it from such diverse four corners of the globe, if you will, okay? I mean, you've got two married guys, you've got two single guys, you got a Doctor Who expert, John, such a knowledgeable guy as far as the creation of comics, how it would put together, and has amazing wit. I mean, he splits me up every time we get together and do a recording. And I love Brant's enthusiasm. Okay, Brant reminds me of myself 30 years ago, with his passion for comics and whatever. So, hey, you know what? If it hadn't been for Zone 4, maybe I'd have stopped collecting a long time ago. And had I done that, I probably would have stopped writing comics, which is, the 1-2 step. So I owe Zone 4 a great deal. I really, really do. It's kept me fresh. It's kept me alive. And it's kept me wanting to be creative. What's going to happen in the next 100 episodes? Who can say? But one thing I can promise you, all right, if you listen to the show, doggone well, there's never a dull moment. We're four guys who genuinely love comic books. It all goes back to that. And, hey, I hope you'll join us. Episode 300 is coming up. We've got a really unique special guest for this show. So, hey, thanks for letting me bore your ears for a little bit on this solo run. This is all about Zone 4 and joining the fun. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. Good night, all.